Also this morning, I'm going to be talking to the one and only, and he'll hang up on us too if we go too long, and that's Chubby Checker. Chubby Checker coming out to the Turning Stone Casino in a week or so, and tickets available at 361-SHOW. Chubby Checker. And try it yourself. If you say his name, Chubby, it just seems odd.
Chubbs, call him Chubbs.
But if you say Chubby Checker, it's like, oh, yes, Chubby Checker. But when you maybe it's because my mother bought me husky pants when I was a kid. And I've been scarred for life. Yeah. They had a big, giant label on the back that said husky. Like, I wanted to wear that. Why don't you just say chunky?
When all your great aunts and uncles at the family reunion say, hey, Chubby, bring me some more Mac salad.
So maybe that's my whole thing. And I do the twist on the way over with some egg salad. It was good times. All right. So, the information coming out of this Orlando shooting is bizarre, right? I mean, it's really just incredible what we're hearing. And I believe all the names, next of kin has been notified at this point. And the number's 49, not 50. That just shows you the difficulty of what they were dealing with. And you hear from victims about not just police and fire and ambulance people. You hear from the victims who say they literally had to climb over dead bodies in order to save themselves. And it's just really terrible. So new coming out of there today?
New coming out of there. And also we have to keep in mind there are still more than 50 people who are injured, some critically. So, it's not necessarily 49 at this point. That number could go up in the coming days. But yesterday, the ex-wife of the man came out and said, I don't even want to mention his name, came out and said, that he was abusive, that he did have issues. They said he frequented the club at least a dozen times, and some people say that he was drunk and loud when he was there. One of the witnesses told, I believe it was the Orlando Sentinel, that he, was drunk when he was there.
And oftentimes had to be removed.
Yeah. Worshippers at the mosque where he attended services say that he kept to himself. He didn't talk to anybody. So, there were signs that something was disturbed about him. But, again, we go back to the issue. So you see signs in somebody. You can't arrest that person for being a loner.
And nor can you prevent them. I mean, it's easy to come out and say we've got to prevent these terrorists from getting guns. No, you're not going to be able to do that if they're homegrown, and it poses a really difficult question, because if you can infringe on this guy's rights, then they can infringe on your rights. So the NRA is going to stand very strong here, and gun owners are going to stand very strong, and that is you can't put those. Okay, I've heard a lot of we have to know who's buying these guns. Well, are we going to simply say if a Muslim is buying a gun? Because that's basically what came out of Trump's mouth yesterday, that we have to watch the Muslim community. And, oh, by the way, if people don't stand up and report, they should be arrested. They should face legal action. Boy, these are things that are not heard in a free society. And how much are we willing to give up so that these things don't happen?
So has this changed from? This is still an act of terror and a hate crime, but it almost seems like maybe
it's bizarre.
What was the beyond?
Movie? It's really beyond that. There was that, but then there's this bizarre homosexual thing, and the father is really adamant about his beliefs. Which, by the way, is any very religious person who's traditional and follows traditional religious beliefs feels that God will punish homosexuals at their time when they meet their maker. You hear it all the time, right? You hear it not just from Muslims, but you hear the same thing from Christians during the gay marriage debate. That's what we heard over and over again is, it's not for us to judge, but God will judge them. And that's basically what this guy is saying, this father, who seemed to be extremely anti-homosexual. And is this a case of the son was somewhat ashamed of his own beliefs that he couldn't fight off? I don't know.
I was wondering the same thing. There's a movie, was it American Beauty, where the father or the neighbor's father is apparently gay but can't deal with it, and
you never knew he was gay until the very end.
And then when that was
a shocking moment.
Correct.
Yeah.
So is this something like that where this individual was gay, but didn't know how to handle it, couldn't deal with it, and
I don't know what
decided
it
to
was.
lash out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
According to the ex-wife, and in that situation, you don't know what to believe because what kind of relationship they had. Rachel Sutherland from Fox News is on right now. Rachel, good morning. Of course, we're all talking and all trying to figure this out.
Absolutely, and interesting you mentioned American Beauty in that scene. That's an amazing movie. But yeah, and what we're finding out about this shooter sounds like he was deeply disturbed at any rate. But there's been just so much reaction to this, and of course, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump gave kind of dueling speeches yesterday. Donald Trump went first, and then Hillary Clinton. Both of them talking about what they would do to combat the threat, and it further clarifies each candidate's position on what to do about this, and it's the first time that really Hillary Clinton has used the words radical jihadism, is what she called it, during her speech. On CNN, she called it radical Islamicism. So it was interesting, and it's a shift away from the Obama administration.
And how important is the? And I hear this at the end of the day. I don't know what it really means. How important is using the? We all understand, right, that the president's reason for not using radical Islam is because he did not want to create a bigotry against a religion.
Right.
So there's the reason. Yet you have people saying you can't fight the enemy if you don't call them by their name. What does calling them by their name help us strategically?
Well, that's what Hillary Clinton is saying, actually. Yeah. That it doesn't matter what we call them, what we say, it matters what we do. Again, those were comments on CNN. And that's been President Obama's argument, too, is that he didn't want to alienate an entire group of people when perhaps that reaching out, they believe, according to this White House, that reaching out to the Muslim community would help possibly. And Clinton mentioned this in her speech yesterday, that if there are relationships built with mosques and imams and the Muslim community across the nation, that they would be the first ones to spot signs of radicalization. Now, is it working? I don't know. I mean, we see just what happened. Now, it appears this individual was motivated by more than just his religious beliefs. He had a lot going on, it seems.
And clearly the name, using the name Radical Islam, or however it's, clearly it must be in terms of, because you think of Hillary Clinton as a polling person. Everything is, I'm going to test the waters and see what people are thinking. If she's now using that term, clearly she's felt pressured that she should use the term.
I'm not sure why she decided to do it. And, of course, we do know that Donald Trump has been calling on her to say it for a very long time, and also President Obama. He's probably not going to change his strategy at all.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was a matter of that or if she just thought, kind of threw her hands up and said, well, why not?
Yeah, Yeah. It's funny because my take on this has been why not and why. Why fight why keep pushing that you have to say it, but why not say it? Everyone knows what it is. How can you sit there and feel that you're doing, by the president's stances, I'm not going to use those words? Everyone knows. You're really not, you're not protecting anyone from anything, right? We're smart enough.
I think people are. And I think that, in Clinton's speech yesterday where she talked about she described it as a virus in this individual's mind, and that this virus is alive and well.
Yeah.
And calling it by its name, I think may help. Certainly, it is an ideology that's out there that transcends borders, and that's what's so scary.
Yeah. All right, Rachel, we appreciate it. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News. On the line, waiting patiently, is David in Whitesboro. David, you want to pipe in?
Bill, good morning, everybody. I want to speak about this.
I'm losing you a little bit there, David, on your cell phone.
Sorry, I just wanted to pipe in about the rifle that was used.
Yeah,
Bill.
yeah, yep.
Rifle. There are some rifles that are actually the Sig Sauer, which is a whole different manufacturer than a rifle.
Okay, so this might not be a Bushmaster AR-15 style rifle?
They all look very similar. They're black and they have the same configuration.
Yeah.
But it's totally different manufacturer. Fires the same kind of round.
Yeah.
But it is not a Bush.
All right, you're breaking up terribly, unfortunately, David, because I really want to hear what you're saying. But at the end of the day, though, this is not. These shootings are terrible for gun owners, for legal, law-abiding citizens who believe in the Second Amendment. You just know every time there's one of these cases, and this one being so terrible, that legislators are going to try to legislate this problem away.
Yeah, well, they're going to try and try to take her rights, but what's the next thing that's going to come down the line? Baseball bats or
Right?
knives?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, thanks, guys.
All right, David. Thanks. We'll break and come right back. Christine, do an update. We'll do an update from the newsroom coming up on WIBX.